So today, we are gonna look at the second part of the session, wherein we are kind of go deep into uh, what is corporate branding and different facets of corporate branding. We're gonna look into it. Before that, I'm gonna just kind of remind you what we kind of studied in the last session, so that you guys are will be in a sync with what you already know. Okay, so we looked at in the last class what is branding, why branding is important, and types of branding. And I believe that it really cleared some of your understanding of what kind of brandings are there, where corporate branding sits, and what is product branding, the service branding, like that. Okay, today's session is all about, like, as I was earlier saying, that we go deep into what is corporate branding and importance of corporate branding, and we look at a few nitty-gritties of corporate branding. I just want you guys to just listen it. These are really a deep subjects. It's better to seeing these things and understanding them over a period of time. You'll start connecting these dots. Okay. So so last time, like we looked at is types of brand. I told you that corporate branding is one type of branding, like how we have a product branding, service branding, retail branding. And I said the corporate branding, if you recall, Infosys or Tata or Mahindra and Mahindra, these all corporate companies. Yes, they do have their own products as well, but as a company, as an organization, if you're making branding for these organizations, whether Wipro or Unilever for that matter, that particular exercise is called as a corporate branding. But when you do a branding for their products, for example, Mahindra has a good amount of vehicles, like from four-wheeler to two-wheeler to tractor. If you're branding those products, that will come under product branding, as we saw last time. Okay. So again, like we looked at this example, Infosys. This is service brand, and here the Infosys, it's a corporate brand as well. The kind of product, whatever in a service they are in, that particular service is called B2B, business to business. They are not directly selling any product to consumers like Apple or Microsoft. Infosys, whatever it does, it is for another company. So when one company or a one business does kind of work for another company, that is comes under your B2B business category or a section. Okay. So another example we looked at last time, which is Google. Google again, like they have a corporate branding as well as the products. Uh, they have apps, and recently they came up with Google Glass, and they have mobile. They have products as well, and they are into service as well. And we looked at a few examples how their corporate identity appears on their campus, and their culture, their corporate culture, the office culture is much more casual and much more sharing knowledge and discussing. It's all knowledge organization, and they created those kind of environment wherein people can freely interact and share ideas with each other. So again, their interiors of office, it's full of playfulness, more of innovative, and more of exploring new ideas. So these all think we kind of last time we looked at it, how your brand thought reflects into your your even interiors and your behavior and all those touch points. Okay. So today, as I was saying, that we will go deep into what is corporate branding. One thing I want to tell you, branding doesn't mean just making a logo. Okay, making a logo is not a branding. Branding is basically thinking about this organization, creating a strategy first, and after that, looking at all the touch points, like whether interiors or exteriors, the kind of culture you want to build. Identity, a logo is just a small part of the branding exercise. Okay, so we look at some of that today. So by now, I believe that you guys are very much clear what is corporate branding and what is not corporate branding, but this is a product branding. Dow is a product branding. Emphasis is a corporate branding. So once you have this clarity, what is corporate, what is not corporate, now we will start moving to the next step. As I was earlier saying, branding doesn't mean creating logo. You should not start with logo. You'll start with a brand strategy. So in this case, corporate brand strategy. So corporate brand strategy is a series of strategy. It's in nutshell, strategy is all about planning. Uh, Deeply, you plan what is that actions you want to take and how do you organize your thoughts, your messages, and all of that. So there are a lot of these tools are there. Like when we do strategy, we look at what is the mission, what is the vision, what is the value of the organization. So this mission, vision, value, whether it is a corporate company, whether it is educational institution, they do have a mission and vision. I believe your college might be having a mission as well. So you can check it. What is the mission you guys have? Okay. Let me share with you one small video. It will kind of introduce you.
Brand strategy is the high-level plan that sets the tone for everything. It guides us through the process of understanding who we are, who we talk to, and why anyone should care. Brands are all about people. To connect with people, we want to understand their needs, their wants, behavior, and motivation. For some of you, this might be the first step to become a brand strategist. This knowledge will set you up for success with your client because you will bring more value and also be able to get paid to think and solve business problems. And I want to help you to get there. In this course, you will learn the fundamentals of brand strategy, from finding the purpose to know your brand personality, defining your target audience, how to position the brand, to finally how to get the brand from where it is today to where it's want to be. I will also walk you through my process that I've been using for developing brands for 15 years now. Everything starts with facilitation, which is a big part of doing brand strategy. Because brand strategy is a collaboration with your client. You're not doing work for them, you're doing work together with them. You will get an understanding how to lead meetings, how to ask good questions, and how to dig deeper to understand problems and identify gaps. The course also includes a workbook with exercises and prompts. You will also be able to be part of an online community where you can meet and share experience with other students. Finally, we will dig into.
So again, like you guys are kind of sensed that corporate branding strategy is all about deep planning. So there are several tools out there, and we pick and choose these tools, the type of business this particular organization into. But there are some of the tools which are common, irrespective of whether it is a software organization, whether it is an automobile company. We'll use those common tools. I'm going to share with you some of those common tools today. One is that mission, vision, value. As I was earlier telling you guys that even educational institutions and colleges, even universities do have their mission and vision. It would be nice you guys spend some time to figure out some of the institution vision, mission, values, as well as some of the organizations. You'll understand how these things are created. So I will show you one or two examples how vision, your mission, vision, and values are created and how it translates into their touch points. Okay, so here is one example, Google. Here you can very clearly see their mission statement is very clear: organizing world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. As we know that Google just collected data from every possible spheres of the world, and then it collated it kind of keeps it in server, and whenever you search in a Google, obviously you can able to retrieve that data. So look at their mission is all about like providing access to the world information in one click. So we all in a day in day out using Google research, and just on a one click, we're accessing all good amount of data. Okay, if you want to study about certain things, you can just go on Google and type it. You'll get lots of information regarding that topic or subject. And third thing here, as I was saying, mission, vision. The last thing is, which is the third thing, which is value. Generally, organization keeps a set of values, 4 to 5, sometimes 3, sometimes it depends upon organization to organization. Here, Google have a good number of values. We'll just pick and choose 1 or 2 values and see how these values are getting translated in their organization. Okay, so one of the value here, if you see, great isn't good enough. That means they always believe in pushing the boundaries and doing something extraordinary thing. They don't do a simple thing. They always go for something edgy, something innovative. That is one of their value. So likewise, they have several values. We will, in a following slide, I will share 1 or 2 with examples. So again, as I said, like once you have a strategy like that, what is your mission, vision, and value? You will start translating that into your design and touch points. Okay, in this case, Google is into a search engine. They have a servers, and you can search data, world data. Henceforth, whenever you go Google, you can see this interface wherein they have a search bar, accessible, useful. And again, if you look at it, they haven't made it very complex. They just kept one search bar wherein you type it, you'll get your information. So this is intentionally designed like this. It is not just they don't have an idea to put many colors here. They purposely use this white dominant color so that you can concentrate on your task rather than getting distracted by other stuffs around this on this page. Okay, so these are all designed a translated mission statement into their touch points. Another, which is a vision, which we looked at, world's information. You just type anything. You type a bees, you type a honey, if you type a flower, you start getting plenty of millions images regarding that particular subject, which we all experience in day out. And you'll get world's information. It's coming from every geography from the world. Okay, and some of the value, let's look at one of the value is fast is better than slow. This is one of their value. So therefore, if you see like how they translated that particular aspect and how they portrayed it, so whenever you search something, whether a flower, a bee, whatever, you always get to read this about how many results you got and how quickly you got within 63 seconds you got. It just shows the speed. Okay, and they celebrate that because the search engine needs to function very fast. So that is one of the need when you're searching something. You want to get your information very quickly and good amount of information so that you can pick and choose. Okay. See, now you looked at how their value translated, how their vision is getting translated, how their mission is coming to alive in their touch points. Few more value translation. You don't need to be at your desk. Again, the Google is such a innovative company, and innovation. You don't need to be always stick to your chair and table. You can relax and you can think about ideas. It's all about idea company. So therefore, if you look at their ambience in their interiors, it's always playful. Uh, you feel you're enjoying the same time you're creating and working. So compared to Google Office or any of the government office in India, I believe you guys have been to some organizations, government organization. If you see a lot of desks and people are sitting straight and working, so you never see these kind of ambience and these kind of attitude. Okay, so again, how the values are translated into their interiors. So let me share one more example. Infosys. Again, like Infosys also have their mission, vision, and a set of values. These guys have very few, three values. Okay, in compared to Google, has got a plenty of them. So let's see here, like what is the mission, how it is translating. Look at the mission statement. Infosys International Inc. is dedicated to provide people, a service, and solutions. The three things they provide. They provide people, service, and solutions. To whom? Their clients, to meet their information technology challenge and business goal. So we all know Infosys is an IT company. They deploy people to work on IT projects, and they do have different services, IT services. And same time, if the client has got some IT infrastructure, they are facing some problem, they're looking for IT solutions. Then again, Infosys is helping them to solve their IT problems. Okay, so therefore they are into three things: people, service, and solutions. And again, if you look at their vision, people play an integral part. And you know that in a software company, it's all about brain power. And people helps them to create unique softwares and provide solutions and help their clients. So again, uh, that's one of the reason, like people-centric organization emphasis is, or for that matter, any IT companies, they have to be people-centric. People are the one. People are their thinking, their brain power really matters. And let's look at how their values, like understanding, quality, and trust, translates into their environment, in their campus, in their offices environment, in their culture. And they do a lot of these activities in their organization, which are like team building, trust building, understanding between the teams. Again, these are a part of their values, and henceforth they do these activities in their organization, so by that they're living by their values. Okay, so let's look at another example, which is Tata. Again, this company also has got mission, vision, and value. So let's go deep into looking at their mission statement. So they kind of talk about innovative, and they're passionate about mobility solutions to enhance the quality life. So here I'm just has taken only Tata Motors, not your whole Tata. Tata has got different divisions: Tata Steel, Tata Motors, Tata Consumers, Tata Construction. So here I had taken a Tata Motors. So just to concentrate on one aspect. So their mission is very clear. They want to invent, innovate, and they're passionate about mobility solutions. So henceforth, you can see they are coming up with the new cars, a new technology. And nowadays, you all must have seen Tata come up with electronic vehicle as well. And their vision statement. This is interesting. Like sometimes some organizations set their vision, like what they want to do in a short term and long term. Here, like they had set their goal, like financial year 2029, they want to be top three in global commercial vehicle market, and domestic market, which is private vehicle, they want to be number three in India as well. So again, you can see that they had a set a goal for by the 2029 they want to be top three vehicle manufacturer in the world. So like that, sometime mission, you would be having a concrete plan, and then you work towards that plan. So again, like they want to be a globally known company, so they acquired Land Rover and Jaguar, these two companies. So now Tata Motors become a global company, and they are using your international football players, kind of sponsoring. Tata is sponsored to their some of the games. Again, like you're kind of engaging with this international sports stars, so that to portray that you are a global company. So again, we look at few of the values. Here, Tata has got a 6 values: integrity, teamwork, accountability, customer focus, excellency, and speed. So henceforth, to build a team or a teamwork kind of culture, they do a lot of these activities wherein their organization members are involved, and so that really helps team building aspects. So likewise, organizations do have their own set of mission, vision, and value that translates into their organization and all their touch points. So these mission, vision, and values are created by branding companies. So when you are making a corporate brand, you have to kind of obviously you will do this mission, vision, value, conducting workshop with the client, and you kind of gain a lot of inputs from these workshops, and then you collate and you create this vision, mission, value statement. So let's go further. Let's look at little deep into what is mission, what is vision, and what is value. And I will just give you a brief introduction to it. I will leave this PDF with your teacher, so you can refer later. Don't worry about taking a note. So mission is all about the mission statement describes the company's purpose and reason for being, like why this company exists. We already saw example. Google exists because they want to collect data from all over the world and make it available to us, to users. Again, mission statement should guide day-to-day operation of the company. Again, your mission statements and your values are helping you to how organization take decisions, how organization needs to structure themselves. And further, mission statement should communicate to external stakeholders and a core solutions company. Again, like there are something called internal stakeholder, external stakeholders. Internal stakeholders are the people who are working the organization, from employee to the support team. And external stakeholders, maybe shareholders, maybe suppliers, like that. So this mission and vision really helps them to sense the purpose of the organization, and that really kind of helps them to kind of like, we would love to work for the company which gives a lot of freedom to creativity, isn't it? The people who love freedom and creativity, they would like to go and join those kind of company. So mission vision really play. That's why if you go to any corporate company website, you can see specifically they mention what is their mission, what is their vision statements. And for example, this is one simple thing we do. This is very simple just to make you guys understand. For example, if you start answering these 4 questions, you are somewhere start seeing what should be the mission of your corporate organization. Okay, so for example, if you have a simple question, what do we do today, in the sense, what is our functional area? Who do we serve? Again, like, what is your market? Who is your customer whom you're serving? So in terms of Infosys, we looked at it. They are serving another company, not a consumer. Apple, they are serving directly to the consumer. Like, we are buying Apple products, whether laptop or Apple phone or whatnot. So they are directly serving to the people. So what are we trying to accomplish? Again, you need to answer this question. You'll come to know what should be the answer. Some of these question answer, like we try to get it when we do workshop. We ask this question to our client, and then they help us to give inputs on these questions. So likewise, vision statement. What is vision statement? If I want to say it in a single word, vision statement describes the future of the organization. What is your plan? How do you want to do? And what is that you want to do? Okay, you already have a vision for your organization. That is what guides you. That is what propels you. Again, like if you ask these 3 questions, you kind of start collecting some needful information about for your vision purpose. Okay, so again, like, what is your future plan? Where we are going to move forward, in the sense, like if you ask in your workshop, what is your future plans? Like, where do you want to see yourself? What do you want to be after 10 years or after 5 years? What kind of future society do you envision? So that time client might give some clues that what they are planning and how they are seeing themselves in the coming coming decade or so. So values are set of things what you stand for, and that values helps you to how you organize your organization interiors, your kind of philosophy, and what you stand for, sort of a thing. So once again, same exercise. What do you stand for? If you ask, like, what are those values which you really stand for? What behavior do we value over all else? In the sense, a good number of companies believe in transparency and trust and teamwork. So like that, you will get answer for these questions, and those answers will help you to when you are creating strategy. So again, we kind of looked at it. We need to kind of first we had to look at what is the mission, and afterward we move to kind of tell out or write out what should be the vision, and likewise what are those set of values they stand for. So these 3 things are critical. These 3 things are a part of brand strategy, corporate brand strategy. Okay. So once you have those 3 things, and then you kind of translate that into design, I will show one more example here. LinkedIn, we all know, this is a professional socializing or a professional app connecting professionally, this app, and some of you are already using this app. Let's look at as a company, what is their mission, vision, and how it is translating. So again, here you can see the vision: create economic opportunities for every professional in the world. So they want to add economic opportunities. So it's being a B2B or a professional, a socializing app or a social connecting app. So maybe if you're seeking a job, you get on LinkedIn and you search for a job, or you search for professional relations. So by that you can grow as a professional. So that really helps you to find out new opportunities. You might make more money out of it. You can expand your business by connecting people. So it really helps to create economic opportunities for every professionals. Mostly, and almost all of them are professionals are in this app. So the objective is connecting professionals. And look at the mission. Okay, their LinkedIn mission is very clear: connecting the world's professionals, not only just India or Asian or just African or some continent, but it's all the professionals in the world, and make them more productive and successful. So this really helps you to increase your professional connections, and that really kind of helps you in many multiple ways. For example, if you are searching for a job, you might get a job. If you're looking for hiring somebody, you might hire people, or you're planning to expand your business, you can look for a business partners from different geographies wherever you want to expand your business. So what are the set of values they stand for? Again, they stand for a good amount of values. One is like connect to opportunities. Again, I said it's a professional. You are looking for opportunities. Uh, so likewise, you saw that their set of mission, vision, as well as values, which they really stands for. So whenever we do a corporate branding, we start with our strategy and we try to conceive what should be the strategic elements for this brand, and after that we get into other part of it, like how that particular strategy translate into all their other touch points. For example, what should be the brand attributes? I know like some of these are branding jargons or branding words. Just hear them out. You'll start connecting the dots. For example, there's something called a brand attributes. What this brand stands for. For example, if I say Apple, it stands for minimalism, and it stands for well designed or design thinking. Similarly, if I say that, for example, Scorpio four wheeler, it stands for adventure, and it's a rugged and a four wheeler, and it is off road kind of a vehicle. So whether a product, whether an organization, they stand for certain attributes. If I look at LinkedIn, it stands for inspiring, intelligent, supportive, and dynamic. So these are a set of four values this organization stands for. And like that, there are many other aspects, which is tone of value, how they communicate with respective their audience. So let me kind of show you like their identity, which is logo. Like you all familiar with identity, LinkedIn, and they have a symbol in. And whenever we design, there are certain mechanical things we need to do. We have to show the client that how that identity appears on a white background or a gray background, how it looks in a reverse, in a single color. And I believe that some of it you're already exposed to it. Identity logo needs to have these variations, okay? And there is something called there's a space around a logo. So there is a good amount of white space around or area is left around the identity so that identity never get disturbed by other elements coming and touching to the identity. So again, this is a part of a guidelines. When we create a logo, we create a guideline so that the corporate company follow these guidelines so that the look of the logo or identity never compromised. Then there are a few more mandatories. So likewise, we suggest a good amount of elements in terms of uh, what kind of look and feel if they're using a photograph, and if they're making a post, what kind of color font they need to use, and what not to do. Generally, your LinkedIn doesn't allow to do all of these kind of tweaking because this is deviate or disturbs the brand identity. So there's always what to do, what not to do aspect also we suggest to the client. So this is also no, you should not do this. So as I was saying, whenever we create branding, a corporate branding, we suggest what is their family font. In this case, this is a family font for LinkedIn, Helvetica Neo, Ultra, it's a whole family. And Sandlight or Source Sans is another font which they kind of suggested. So like that, there are certain mandatories regarding typography, which we kind of suggest, and the grid is another a very critical aspect which we suggest. So likewise, a lot of these mandatories are also provided. Another very much critical aspect in a corporate identity is color. So if I say, for example, ICICI Bank, you remember certain colors, okay? If I say MRF Tire, you remember certain colors. Similarly, whenever you take a company's or corporate branding or a company name, you start remembering set of colors. So in this case, we suggested for a LinkedIn blue, black, and white. These are the dominant colors they're supposed to use. And there's something we call accent or a secondary colors. These are secondary colors. So likewise, there are a lot of these, this thing will give them color values and Pantone shade and all of that, so that they can kind of, every time they produce or every time they make any kind of posts or communication material, colors are not violated. I think you all know that CMYK, Pantone colors. So likewise, depends upon organization to organization. In this LinkedIn, they extensively use different grays while they are making their posts. So it is suggested that variety of grays they can play with in their advertising or banner or their website. Another critical aspect is imagery. It's all about photograph. What kind of photograph tone and manner you're supposed to keep. Again, this is being a professional app. You would be always using a professionals, not a kids or a family gathering sort of a thing. It's always like she's a photographer, maybe she's a chef, he's a pilot, I believe. This guy's a entrepreneur, she's an athlete, and he's, I believe, a sportsman or a racer, I believe. So all the professionals. So how do you portray what kind of photograph angle, color, lighting you need to take. And again, in the last slide, I had shown you the gray colors here. And here, if you look at the background, there is a dominantly, they use a gray, black background. They're not a colorful background because these are intentional calls. This is again part of your corporate branding. So again, a few more suggestions. If you're using lifestyles in the sense as an entrepreneur or a professional, so what kind of photographs you need to take. Again, more of working, office environment, sharing. That's the mood they're supposed to capture. So likewise, we suggest a lot of these inputs whenever we do corporate branding for organizations. Iconography, and we are very much aware about these icons. You all must have seen. This is again illustrated and especially customized icons are created for LinkedIn. So this is something we call a brand expression. If you're making advertisements for magazines, or if you're making hoardings, or if you're making a press ad or a newspaper ad, how you have to use picture and your copy and your headline. So these are some layouts which are sample layouts which LinkedIn is supposed to use whenever they are doing their communication materials. So a few more, your digital or email version, and some more digital communication, how it can or how it should appear. So likewise, a good amount of these visual inputs, what to do, what not to do, is suggested by branding company to the organization. So why do we do these things? Because of these do's and don'ts and these rules and regulations. So the brand able to look in sync with all their touch points. Otherwise, they would be using different colors, and you would lose that synchronicity or synergy between each of their touch points. So I hope you guys are able to see how it translated. Again, like, let's look at the mission. Mission is very simple for LinkedIn: to connect the world's professional, to make them more productive. Vision: to create economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce. So you can see like how it translated their vision. Again, like we previously looked at, Google's mission, very clear: to organize the world's information to make it universally accessible. Just look at two companies. Both of them are a corporate companies, and their missions varies because they are into helping connecting professionals. Here, these guys are into providing information. So henceforth, their vision differs. Again, these guys are helping you to access information in a one click. Here, these guys are helping professional to connect another professional so that they can make good business, or they can look for more economic opportunities, profits, and benefits. So I hope you're able to see that how this mission vision differs and how it kind of translates into their designs. And let me share you how in the design house, in a branding house, the designs happens. I will kind of show you 3 videos so that will clearly show you how designs are done. Okay.
When we're thinking about how a digital service works, we think about all the different shortcomings and advantages it has. It requires a lot of trial and error, particularly when you're doing motion plus visuals plus interaction.
We wanted to really explore how could paper lift in space and expand and be the first step along a user flow. It's really hard to sketch out a Z space on a two-dimensional page, but it's so core to the idea of material design, the idea of creating this Z space to help with hierarchy, to help with attention, preservation.
We did these explorations in After Effects, but then once we actually started to see it on device, we had to tune it to make it feel right.
After we started to do the very first kind of 3D renderings on the computer, we realized that it'd be really more useful to actually look at things in real life. This is a setup that is a physical manifestation of digital simulations we did. A system that enforces that the light comes in at 45-degree angles to keep the shadows consistent from the top to the bottom of the screen. A slight couple pixels can tell a real story about the relationship between surfaces and their position in space.
Some of the ways that we studied paper was to cut out physical objects for some of our branding and iconography used throughout the system. In the process of making icons, we actually took a second look at how light interacts with paper and how folds and shadows reveal the form of the object that you're looking at.
There's a phrase, a computer is a light bright for bad ideas. Once you put it on the computer, it looks like the final product. You don't have to tweak it that much. But when you really can dissect the ideas behind a design, then you can start figuring out, is this what's going to solve the problem?
Let us see another one. So again, here you can see the typography, how carefully they crafted.
It was really important for us to have a type system that had flexibility. We have a lot of different weights and different widths to serve all of the different places that we need. We don't just have a bold title and regular text. We can be much more subtle by going with a medium weight for the title. For a very large display, we can use the thinner or the lighter weight. It's a step beyond what we're used to in a lot of UI type systems where there's just a bold and a regular. Historically, Roboto had a very small counter on the top of the R. It's subtle, but it gives it more of a serious character. As we wanted to make it more friendly, we opened up the R here. You don't think of characters as having postures, but they kind of do, right? So this was our last R, and then now we're more relaxed. We did something similar with the lowercase a as well. The little loop down there at the bottom opened up a little bit more. The curved sides of the D or the O, going from square dots to the rounded dots. All those little details together add up to a different feeling. It became more approachable and more friendly. We also wanted to add the typographic niceties that we're used to seeing in print. For the italics, what are the optical illusions that happen when you slant letters, and how do we correct those? You can see things like the characters that are round are actually slanted a little bit less. All of those little things help to compensate. The result is a typeface that works in a lot more environments. One of the unique things about designing for digital environments is that you can update the types. And we really see Roboto as a living typeface. As needs change and as we introduce new form factors, as we need it to do more things, we can continue to revise it, continue to update it, and really tune it for what it's purposed for.
So again, you saw that how meticulously they kind of design each aspect of it, whether icons, whether typography. So there's a lot of work gets into it. Generally, the corporate branding exercise take like months and months, sometimes 8 months, sometimes it goes beyond a year or so. It's all dependent upon how big the company is.
I'll tell people, I work at Google. And what do you work on? I design search. And they kind of pause for a second and they're like, what is there to design?
Start to run tired, losing my mind. I take a breath and get by the air. Tired to the tracks of the same routine. I left the world I used to. Dream days are all tired, clean my mind. I got the number, I can't break free. Maybe I just want to live my life. Feel just one more thrill before I die.
Oh, I know. It's cat.
Hi, how can I help?
So maybe in the last session, I'll show some more examples. So you guys get to see that the amount of work get into it, and you kind of you would be needing a different talents. Obviously, everything starts with a strategy, then that moves into translating that strategy into design, or in terms of whether interior, exterior, identity, or if there's a website, how website needs to come out. Sometimes a good number of companies create their own typography. So you saw Google created their own typography. That means we would be needing somebody who is good with typography, who will help us to create typography. And we need good amount of graphic designers. We need good amount of strategists, researchers. So there's a multiple talent is required to make a corporate identity or a corporate branding, for that matter. So again, like as I was saying, that there are lots of these do's and don'ts. Once we create, we give this is a part of brand manual. Then in the last session, I'm going to share one or two brand manuals, so you'll start understanding what brand manual is all about. Brand manual is something like, it's a booklet. It's like your constitution for the brand, what to do, what not to do. So again, you see, like as I was discussing, like I showed you how typography they created, and the holes in terms of size, even the icons, they have very unique icons. So this is Kansai Nerolac, and you all know Nerolac paint. They're into wall paints. So I kind of worked on this project. This project is done by me. So we created Kansai. Kansai is a Japanese company. Nerolac is an Indian company. So we created their identity. Then we created many touch points for their company, because it's a corporate branding. So we suggested how their colors and form and shape can appear on their building, even inside their conference room, how it can pan into in their office, and even the furniture also carry the color, so that it become the brand presence is felt in their interiors. So likewise, there's one more very small identity is created by me for a very small company. Uh, these guys are into a precision instrument, a precision product they make. So again, their core idea is all about focusing on progress. So the idea came from there. And then from there, like we looked at it, is all about growth and progressing and providing benefits and profits and taking you to the new heights. So from there, this whole idea came. We try to use the shape of growth, of prosperity, and that become the symbol for this brand. They're into these precision tools. So there are touch points. They make these kind of products, okay? So sometime if there is a big company, obviously it is going to take months and months work. If it is a small company, uh, it, it, it depends upon the kind of amount of work they're looking for. It might take at least 4 to 6 weeks, at least for even a small company as well. So it's a time intensive, a different kind of talents you need to make a corporate identity. And as I was earlier saying, everything starts with strategy. So so in the next class session, I would be sharing with you a few more other aspect of corporate branding. The and I will share with you some more examples, videos, as well as case studies, so you'll understand further in terms of how corporate identities or corporate branding manifests. Lastly, why do we need important of corporate branding, which we already understood that if I say Google, you all remember these colors, and you whichever service they are doing, Google, whether they are providing you the Meet, what we are doing a Google Meet, there's the symbol, Google Mail, we know that. All of them look that they're coming from the same company. So it will help corporate branding helps you to create the synergy between all their services. And this is something we called corporate architecture. Google into many things. They have a map, they have a play, they have a translator, they have Google Book. So how each of their vertical and services sits under your Google main brand. So this particular thing, we call it a brand architecture. Like big companies do have a several verticals, several companies, how they come under your mother company. So this is the last thing which I'm going to share with you, how this brand architecture works. There are three ways it works. One is, for example, Apple is your corporate brand, and they have Apple TV, iMacs, iPhones, watches, and iPads. If you look at this particular symbol, goes along with all their products. Okay, what watch does, what phone does, they are two different things. But still, your brand, your company identity goes along with all their products. So this style of strategy is called a branded house. Okay, these are our technical names, but just remember there's something called house of brands. Unilever, this company, we all are aware, they do have Dow, they have many other products from Lipton tea to Ben and Jerry. So here, like all of them are coming from Unilever, but there is no this U symbol next to Ben and Jerry or a Lipton or a Dow, okay? Because Dow has its own design, own symbol. Likewise, Lipton has its own design. So this style of branding is called house of branding, wherein corporate branding identity doesn't come with your product identity. Okay. There's another type of strategy. The third strategy, which we call it endorsed branding, you all must have seen this type of branding. So this country yard is coming from Marriott, okay? Fairfield, again, it is coming from Marriott. So there's always this sponsored or endorsed branding taking place. You can look around some companies, you can see either they fall under your endorsed brand or else house of brands or else branded house, okay? So these are the three ways, three strategies are followed whenever we are planning for corporate branding or brand architecture. So that is it for today.